Hey, party people, rise and shine, and give y'all the glory. It's Friday. Excited. Today is the last day of the work week. So, you know, us network marketers that want to get out of this having to go to work, having to go to a work thing. That's what I want to get out of, having to go to work thing. Although I do kind of like my job, so I can't really complain now. But anyway, I wanted to come on here today. I'm doing fields, and I talk to frustrated network marketers, newbie network marketers, people who are having a hard time recruiting. Now, I am no recruiting expert. I'm not a six-figure earner or a seven-figure earner. I'm not a leaderboard person yet. But what I am is somebody who want you to really grow in this business. I want you to help. I want to help you in any way that I can to create generational wealth. So what I do is when I go and I learn something, I come back and I share it with you so that you can learn it too. How's that? So today I wanted to talk to you about something that I think is important, because at least for me it was something that had me stuck for a long time. Not just in this business, but in a lot of businesses. See, like I said, I'm a person that like to learn. So I spend a lot of time learning. I actually started being interested in internet marketing back in 1995. A lot of people weren't even on the internet at that time. But I was on the internet at my job, and I was attracted or drawn to internet marketers. I think the first person whose list I joined was a guy named, you know what, back then they didn't even have videos, so you just have to guess. His name I think was pronounced Yannick Silver. I think that's how you say his name, Yannick. I might be saying it wrong, but that's the way I said his name, Yannick Silver. And another guy named Corey Rudel. I remember when Corey actually died. He was young, but he died in a car accident. It was like a big thing. He had got a new Porsche, and he went to this racetrack. I think he lived out in California, and he if I remember correctly, and he, I guess, was riding fast in his car, and he got into an accident. He died. He was young, like early 20s, but he was a millionaire on the internet by one of the first people who was actually doing this. But I followed all the gurus for years. For years, I followed them. I was on their email list. I bought their products. I can't remember. I remember when Frank Kearns came out. He used to have long, stringy hair. He used to curse like a sailor. It was funny. He's still funny. Now he just looked like a, older gentleman. I don't think he curses anymore. At least I haven't heard him. It was just so. Mark Joyner. I used to follow Mark Joyner. Telman Knudsen, I used to follow him. He used to be the list building guy. Jay Abraham, Dan Kennedy, just so many back then. And Dan Kennedy wasn't even an internet marketer, but he was a king of marketing. And it's good because Russell Brunson has brought him back out in his work and has intertwined on the internet. So that's actually awesome to see. It's like a really slow truck in front of me. I hope I can pass. Yeah, thank God he's going the other way. But I've been interested in internet marketing for decades now. For decades. But I never did anything with the information that I knew. I just kept gathering information. And I was going to try. It was like I was the shiny object person. Like, so many different things came out, and I was like, ooh, I'm interested in this, and ooh, I'm interested in that, and ooh, I'm interested in this. And so I was gathering all this knowledge, and I was buying all these courses, and I was using the courses, but I wasn't doing anything I was using the courses to learn from the courses, but I wasn't doing anything to make any money from these courses. I used to be at conferences all the time. Back then, they used to have teleconferences. There was no webinars. We actually got on the telephone, and listen, it used to be a guy, I can't think of his name. I think it started with a T, and the last name I think is Morris or something. He used to be the teleseminar guide, teaching you how to make money on teleseminars. And I remember I had a newsletter called How to Discover Your Life Purpose, and I talked to Christians who how to discover God's purpose for your life. That was my newsletter, and I helped people discover God's purpose for their life and apply it to their life. And there's some people who actually did it and have been doing it ever since. So and I used some of the information that I learned from these courses but it not really made money, because I really wasn't doing it to make money. I was just doing it because it was fun to do. I had a podcast before anybody else had a podcast. I used to do it through Messenger. I would record it and broadcast it. Nobody was really doing that back then. DJs used to do music on it, but nobody was really talking. It's one of the first people to have an internet or podcast, and then later on this thing, what was that? Whatever they used to call it, I can't think of it, came out like the first kind of podcast. But I was doing it before people, like in 2000. I was doing it before anybody else was actually doing it. But I never really made any money for it, and I call that the always learning, but not applying what you learned. That's the what they call it, analysis of paralysis, when you stuck. And I know a lot of people are like that. They want to learn everything they need to learn before they actually do something. And that's not really the way to be successful. And that's not the way to win. You have to just get out there and do it. I know that it might feel a little scary at first, but you scare yourself until you be comfortable with it. Just get out there and scare yourself until you be comfortable. Like I still don't really like to go live. I make video recordings, but I don't like to go live. And I don't know why I don't like to go live, because I don't know, it's the same thing. Like if I was to push live as opposed to just doing this, but I just didn't like, because then I got to go back and download it. I like to have the video because I share it on YouTube and other places. So, and then I like to edit it. And I don't know, I could download from. See, I'm making up excuses. That's called making up excuses. So I could go live. And I'm gonna start going live. Yes, okay, I do it sometimes, but not often. But that's because I don't know, something makes us stuck. So what's making you stuck? What's stopping you from doing everything that you can to recruit? What's stopping you from reaching out to people every day? All you got to do is reach out to 30 people. And you know what? They say 30 people. And if you do it right, it's kind of hard to reach out to 30 people. You know why? Because if you're just reaching out to 30 people, you're just spamming them something like, hey, whatever. You're not really starting a relationship. But when you start actually talking to people, it's hard to talk to 30 people at the same time. Now, 30 people is not going to respond to you. Let's say that you send out 30 links and 10 people respond, but it is kind of hard to have a real relationship with 10 people at a time. So my suggestion would be to start with 10 people and work your way up. See how that works. Can you handle 10 people? If you can't, just start with 5. Do what you can, but just do something. You have to do something every single day. That's the only way that you're going to really grow your business. And you have to really take it serious as a business. Like if I came to my job and I didn't do anything, I wouldn't have this job very long. So if you have running your own business, you have to do something every day. Set at least an hour or 2 hours aside every day and actually get something done. Stuff that you learn, apply it that day. Like if you learn something new, apply it that day. I got like a hair or something that's sticking in my face and I can't, it's like bothering me, but I can't get it off. But do something every single day that you learn. Like learn something, apply it. Learn something, apply it. That's how you become successful. Successful people are just people who are consistent, who do something enough of it all the time that they become knowledgeable of it and experts in it, and they don't give up and they don't quit. As long as you don't quit, just do something every single day, even Saturday and Sunday. You don't have, until you created generational wealth, you don't have any days off. You can't, I only work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on my business. No! You got to work every day on your business. See, this is really important. This is creating generational wealth for you and your family. When you're working on your job, yeah, you get a paycheck, but you create generational wealth for somebody else's family. Your family should be top priority. So let's start creating generational wealth for our family. So when you learn something, take it and you apply it. Now you can go right now to my website. I'm gonna leave the link in the description above or below. And you can it's a PDF file you can get called the 7 steps of how to prospect without looking spammy or being ignored. It's yours absolutely free. All I gotta do is click on the link and I'm giving it to you, but absolutely free. So listen, you have an awesome and wonderful weekend. Enjoy yourself as I'm going to be enjoying myself. Peace out.